excited to bring up Shawna Stewart, who's the VP of People Operations at Railz.ai. So if we can please give her a huge welcome, invite her up to the stage. Hi, Shawna, how are you doing?
Here I am. Hi.
You're here. Thank you so much for joining us. So I want to kick it off with, I had seen one of our attendees in the chat actually mention that they connected with you in the one-to-one connections, and you just had so much passion for, Railz.ai and what you were doing there. So hoping maybe we can start with you sharing a little bit about your story and how you got involved and what it's like to be the VP of People Ops there.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't even know where to begin with that really, but definitely people ops person with a chip on their shoulder to enhance employee experiences. I am coming from a previous company that went through an acquisition and wanted to build again, and really wanted to be a part of something like Railz. And so for those who don't know what Railz does, we have accounting data as a service API, connects to accounting service providers, banking information for our end users, which are FIs, banks, other fintech companies, and we're serving the underserved, right? So that's what really drew me in, the product, what we're doing in the space, what we're doing for those customers that we're serving, and really trying to build a team around that. So it's really exciting.
Right. That does sound really exciting. And how personally, like your journey, how did you maybe find People Ops and get here?
Yeah. So originally took psych in my undergrad, and I was planning to go into clinical psychology, and did a few placements and realized it wasn't really for me, and started looking into more organizational design, organizational behavior, and went sort of the HR traditional route with a spin on it in the types of placements that I did, which was mostly startups and getting into the tech space.
That's awesome. And I think it's such an important component of the team to kind of think, obviously, people first. I want to dive into a bit more of the specific topic around distributed teams. We have seen this. It is common practice now after especially COVID, allowing us to work from home and to be able to work for a company that's not geographically close to necessarily where we are living. So maybe we can start with, from your perspective, the benefits of a distributed team for both an organization and also for individual workers as well.
Yeah, so I look at it in a number of ways, right? Diversity of thought, I think, is really important, right? We can all walk in step and have groupthink and build something interesting, but when you bring a lot of different cultures together, we can learn from those cultures. We can learn from, maybe different areas of the world that are doing or trying to do what we're doing, and we can learn of how we can build and serve in that market. And it is really exciting for the organization to diversify in thinking and diversify in culture, but also for the individual, it's the ability to give equitable opportunities to people outside of North America, right? That's something I'm really passionate about, and not just to bring them in to save a buck, right? Because you see a lot of organizations are like, oh, we can get someone in Brazil on the cheap, and that's not how we operate. And so, just making sure that we're able to do that and give those opportunities to people, I think, is one of the reasons why we would stay fully distributed.
Yeah, and one of the things I really like about the distributed team model as well is I find it's such a great way to actually focus on learning a lot about your teams, especially when there is an element of having to connect on, as you said, culturally learning about what other people are doing elsewhere. So that's been one of the positives I think that has come out of it. So just switching more around, employees joining from anywhere, fostering that connection and maybe encouraging people to really connect with their teams. What are you doing to help people learn about their coworkers, connect, create relationships, be collaborative when they're not able to work together in person?
Yeah, so tech is a big part of this, and manipulating tech to do what you need it to do, right? And so building on Slack, using those tools that connect the team. So using Donut is one we are using for onboarding that introduces the team to other people periodically, but also they're onboarding like is stacked. It's really powerful. You're able to even just send notes and say, hey, you're doing a great job today. Just wanted you to know, or take a breather, take a breath on a random Tuesday, all automated, connecting them with other people on the team. So we're doing a lot of work around that. We're also doing a lot of initiatives that bring the team together. So like we have Innovation Fridays during our cool down sprint week, where we have hackathons, book clubs. Someone's working on a proof of concept. They want to bring other people in. If they want to do courses, they can share what they're learning in their courses. So there's a lot of ways that we're working cross collaboratively and using tools like Figma Jam to really bring these sessions together, and just really leveraging the space that we're in, and using technology in that way. So it's interesting.
I agree. I think it's very interesting. One of the things I have heard from a number of people is that sometimes making yourself available to everyone is quite tricky. And obviously, as someone working in people ops, you need to be available to the people that are working with you. So what is your strategy? What have you found that really works to allow yourself to be available and for you to personally connect with people on the team?
Yeah, so feedback is a gift. I've heard our investors say this a ton of times, so I stole it. But feedback is a gift. We have a lot of different feedback mechanisms in place, whether it be anonymous surveys, whether it be pointed feedback, start stock continues to managers, 360-degree feedback. We've got a culture committee as well that can help us. It's a bottom-up focus group that tells us, hey, we're really messing up on the leadership level, and we need to change and do, pivot and give more information and be more transparent and talk about the values more and whatever else we need to do. So there's a lot that we're doing from that standpoint that really does help me connect to the team and collect that feedback, and then use that feedback to actually drive my strategy forward and how we connect the team further, because they give me validation on what I need to do.
Right, exactly. If there's anyone that's joining us tonight that's maybe trying to do the same thing, has a smaller team and trying to strategize better ways to connect their team, maybe not just with the Zoom happy hours anymore. I think we're like well beyond that and pretty zoomed out. Exactly. So what would be some of your takeaways and lessons learned that you'd want to pass on to someone else?
Yeah, I mean, utilize, if you are using Teams or Slack, utilize workflows, right? Send a message to the team and say, hey, we want to collect feedback on, the session we just had that you learned from. Here's all the material that we've gone through. Let us know, if there's anything that you see that, sparks your interest. We also collaborate with third party, like Wavy. Wavy is, I'm going to plug them every day. They do a great remote team building where you want to do game shows, escape rooms, and they do asynchronous events as well. So there's a lot of ways that we're coming together as a team that are outside of just me as a person and all relying on my shoulders.
Right.
Definitely leveraging the team to come together and build a community around it, and also tapping on the shoulders of the community outside of our four walls.
Right. And just to kind of throw maybe like something else into the mix here, distributed teams could come with potentially scheduling issues if you're working across multiple time zones. Do you have a strategy that's been working? Anything that you could pass along to any of the folks joining tonight that have teams working across multiple time zones, trying to, again, make sure everyone feels included and part of the team?
Yeah, so we do have asynchronous meetings a lot, but we check in with the team, right? Even in the interviews, what are you comfortable with? You're on, in India. What timelines work for you? What works for you in terms of the overlap with, maybe Eastern time zones, and understanding that up front so that we can be prepared and we can, make sure that they're set up for success and what they're comfortable with. And that's how we would engage them in, sync ups and team building. And we would offer 2 different versions of that same event, or we'd record a video and send it out, and just make sure that the team is engaged in that way. So we really just ask and be upfront with them.
Yes, ask the people what they want, and they will tell you what's going to work for them.
They want. Exactly. And
exactly.
we find
I
that
love that. I think that's great advice. From your perspective, what does the future of distributed work look like, given people are returning to the office? There is a lot of in-person events happening again, as we're starting to do at TechTO as well. But what does the future look like in terms of that?
Yeah, I think if you're going to benefit from, being able to find talent anywhere, you have to kind of put your money where your mouth is. Make sure that you take an opportunity to meet everybody in person, should they want that, right? Maybe coming together once a year and doing something collectively. and also to facilitate that within your offices. So if you're going into a hybrid environment, make sure you have the right tech so that people can feel like they're a part of the meeting. And that's important for the people who are in person, and that's also important for the people who are coming online as well.
Yeah, you want everyone to feel like they're included in one way or another. I want to move on to the hiring. Obviously, you are going to join us for a breakout session tonight. Really excited to hear more about your roles, but hoping just you can maybe share what you're looking for, some of the roles you're hiring for with everyone that's here with us.
Yes. So, I mean, tale as old as time, we're hiring in engineering, right? So if you are senior full stack, if you are, back end oriented, Node.js, React, we want to hear from you. We're hiring QAs that are specialized in automation right now. So if you are that, please contact us. We've got a really great squad model for the teams that breaks up the product in different ways. So it's a really, really interesting time to join us right now.
Yeah, sounds like it. Can you give anyone maybe some insight into how they can best prepare, the things that you look for, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I mean, build the tech stack if it matches. that's one way. We really take a lot of time to build out our job description so that we can be very clear with what we're looking for. So just pay attention to that. Maybe put a cover letter. Contact me on LinkedIn directly. I will answer, and I will say I'll look out for your resume because I want people who take initiative to do that kind of stuff. I really pay attention to, and those are the type of people that other people who have a chip on their shoulder. Those are the people I want to bring in. So definitely get in touch. Pay attention to the spec, and you're doing well.
I love that. And also, where can these folks find your roles on your careers page? Should they connect with you maybe directly on LinkedIn? How could they go about doing that?
All of the above, right? So definitely check out our career page, apply there, but contact me or contact anyone on our team. I tell them all the time I'm sending people their way. If you want to learn about the culture, you can go to Glassdoor, or you can ping someone directly who works with us to learn about our culture.
Right. And also, you will be in the breakout room. So if anyone has any questions, anything they want to ask further about Railz.ai, Shawna will be in the breakout session. So be sure to join. One of my last questions that I have just to wrap up, aside from the amazing things that you are doing with keeping these distributed teams connected and making sure everyone feels like they are truly a part of this team, why else should someone join this organization?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're connecting the team and engaging the team in a lot of ways outside of the scope of what we're building. We want to build, progressive products, but we also want to make sure that people are connected around learning and development, wellness, social responsibility, everything that we're doing to be innovative and think outside the box, right? So if you want to be a part of something that's adding on to the business in that way, but also adding on to your professional growth, then you should come and see us.
I think you sold us. I think you sold everyone here. Thank you so much, Shawna, for joining us, for being part of this conversation. I know there's a lot of people excited to talk to you and join the breakout session. So let's give a round of applause for Shawna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you.